welcome back to Joe and Di's Allotment channel. We're now in week 2 of August. I'm Joe and Di's behind the camera, thank you very much. So we've got some sowing to do. Only one thing in modules this week. I mean, if you saw last week's video, we did quite a lot of planting in modules. So if you want any ideas of what to sow in August, have a look at our week 1 video. All I'm doing is some on-deep this week into some modules. Just give you a quick little update as well. Some of our onions is drying here, so I made a bit of a drying rack. So they're drying there, we're leaving them to dry off thoroughly. So all the green bits sort of dry off completely, like these ones. And we've got the shallots here drying as well. What you can do with the shallots, you can actually keep some for replanting next year. Sort of nice, if you sort of check them over, make sure they've got no sort of diseases, or they look, you know, really that size, I'd say. You can keep those for planting next year. As long as you keep them somewhere dry, they'll be okay for replanting next year. But if it starts getting cold, very cold, I think below sort of like 3 degrees, I bring them inside for a little while until that cold spell goes, and bring them back out again. They probably, you know, anything below 4 degrees will probably destroy their viability. So yeah, but we might sort of pickle some of these as well. Yeah, I'm not sure, but got quite a lot there. So yeah, all we do is planting some on-deep into the modules now. We've got some more sowing to do down the allotment, but I'm going to do it directly into the plot. We've got quite a lot of empty sort of bits now where the onions and shallots have been coming out, so we've got some empty sort of sections of the plot, and we'll fill those up with sowings and some of the ones we did last week as well. As they start getting ready for planting out, we'll plant them out. But yeah, so all I'm doing this morning is on-deep. It's a variety called Romanesca dehydrating. It goes about 2 centimetres deep. 2 centimetres deep, yeah. And it takes about sort of 5 to 7 days to germinate, and it's sort of ready for harvesting in sort of 10 to 12 weeks. It's a lovely addition to salads. Not used so much in the UK, but sort of widely used in Europe. It's a lovely sort of curly looking, sort of slightly peppery taste as well. So it's a lovely addition to salads. So we lightly sprinkle them into these modules, not too many, and then we can try and get 3 or 4 in each one if I can. Bit too many in that one. And then we'll transplant them on when they're large enough to handle. That's enough. So give these a firming down. So these have been pre-watered already, but I'll give them another little sprinkle on top, and it's been labelled so I won't forget what they are, as I've done in the past quite a lot. So yeah, this should be up in 3 to 7 days. Give another little sprinkle on top. We'll leave them here in the garden, and hopefully they'll germinate quite quickly. We sowed spinaches last week in modules, but I'm also going to plant some directly. We've really pre-watered the bed. I've got some chard and spinach beet, which are both beets basically, and I've got some 2 types of winter spinach as well, real spinach, which is a giant winter and the matador. So I'm going to plant those in the bed over there, and if I plant too many, I'll transplant them as space becomes available, if they germinate. We'll see. So they go about 3 centimetres deep, and they take between sort of 12 and 20 days to germinate sometimes, and they should be ready for sort of harvesting in sort of 14 to 20 weeks, depending on which variety we're looking at. So what I'll do is I'll plant them in the bed over there, and we'll see how they go. So spinach beet is quite a large seed. Give it a sprinkle all over here. And you can never have too much because you can always dry it and use it throughout the whole winter period really. Dehydrate and add to meal, so it won't go to waste. So that's the spinach. So we do the chard next, which looks very much the same as the spinach beet, perpetual spinach. Sprinkle that all through that. We'll cover those up in a minute. This is true spinach, this is Matador. Sprinkle that around. Should be enough, should be quite a few there, hopefully. And the last one is Winter Giant. Get that done. So we'll have to keep these well watered for the next few weeks. Burn it down. That's it, that's those in. So next row I'm going to put in some French breakfast radish and some winter radish. They take about 3 to 7 days to germinate, but the French breakfast will be ready in about sort of 4 weeks, but the winter radish will take up to anything up to sort of 12 weeks to be ready. They grow to about 6 inches long. I'll do the French breakfast first, just a small section, because we successionally plant these. We've got a little supply all the time. I'll do them. These are the winter radish. That's it. That's done. The last row here I'm going to put in some rocket, which is rocket Napoli. Lovely addition to salads, and it's sort of winter hardy, so it will grow all the way through the winter. So yeah, we've been trimming up the vine. So we've got lots of compostable material there, and we've managed to get nearly 60 usable vine leaves, so we can make another batch of stuffed vine leaves with those. But yeah, so we've trimmed it up a bit so it exposes, let some more sunlight in to start ripening up the grapes now really. I don't think we'll get a lot more growth after this time of the year. The white variety over there as well, they're looking quite good. Nice few bunches there. So I just need to let the sun get through and start ripening them now really. I think they're slightly larger than the red variety, I think. And these can be edible. These ones are edible. These ones aren't really edible. They're only suitable for making sort of either grape juice or vinegar. But yeah, so that's probably the last harvest of vine leaves we'll get off of there. And we still need to sort of trim up and try and get the sun to penetrate a bit more. But they're all old leaves, you can't really use those. We've picked the sort of end of each growth, which are the edible ones, because they're nice and soft and they're still white. So if you look at the veins, and they're still white, they still feel quite soft. As they get older, they sort of start to redden and toughen up. So yeah, so we can chuck all this into the compost bin as well. That'll rot down very quickly. Vine leaves always rot down very quickly in the compost. So yeah, that's the job done. Harvesting some second earlies. Quite a nice size actually. They're coming out, some of them. So they're going to harvest the plums today. We've got quite a few in the bag already. You only get a very short window to harvest them before they go very soft. So probably only 2 or 3 week period before they go soft. And what we'll do is we'll probably dehydrate these. You can bottle them, you can turn them into jams or jellies, and you can freeze them as well. They freeze quite well if you cut them into sort of sections and freeze them. And then you can use them later for making jams, jellies, or you can even eat them straight out of the freezer. Nice little cold snack. But yeah, we dehydrate them rather than bottle because it takes up a lot less space reduces the capacity. I mean, one jar you can get quite a lot into one jar, whereas bottling, the jar fills up very quickly. I think this one's a Laxton's early variety, and the one at home is a Victoria plum variety. Nice plum. They're very sweet when they're actually ready to harvest. Very sweet inside. But what we do is we take them home and we cut them open as well to make sure there's no little creatures inside before we sort of wash them, cut them open, make sure there's nothing inside before we dehydrate them. So yeah, we'll get on and harvest the rest. We've also got another plum tree over the other side of the plot, so we'll harvest those as well. This is the other plum tree. They're a smaller variety. I'm not sure what variety these ones are.
They look very similar.
They look very similar, but they're a smaller one. Whether it's because of the position of the tree they're smaller, not quite sure. So we'll harvest these ones as well, and I think we'll have quite a few kilograms by the time we're finished. Not bad little bunches. So not a bad little harvest. So we'll take these home and dehydrate them. So the plums we picked, what we've done is washed them thoroughly, dried them off, sliced them up, sort of picking out the best bits really, because there was quite a lot that were damaged really. And we're going to dehydrate them for 6 hours at a higher temperature, about 155 Fahrenheit, and after 6 hours we'll reduce it, and I think it'll take about another 8 hours after that. Yeah, because they're quite a wet sort of thing to dry, so they will take quite a while. So we'll put that on and we'll have a look at the end and see how they come out. So our 4 kilograms of plums have been in the dehydrator now for 12 hours, yeah?
3 and 8.
11 hours.
11.
So yeah, and they're now nice and pliable. We've tasted some this morning, they're nice and sweet. So they're ready to put in the jar. So we've got a pre-sterilised jar and we've labelled it. Mind you, not likely to get mixed up with anything else, are we? But we have labelled it. So we'll now put them into the jar and we'll show you how many we've got. So 4 kilograms of plums, after taking the weight of the jar off, is reduced to 400 grams. That's quite an amazing amount of reduction actually in weight. Yeah, so it's a lovely snack which we'll enjoy, and they can be rehydrated if you want to sort of use them for puddings or put into breads or cakes. So yeah, great way of preserving and storing your plums. Just got a pot full from the outdoor tomatoes, nice little red pepper, and a mixture of sizes of courgettes and marrows. So yeah, not a bad little crop there. But this one will store well over winter. Not a bad little harvest. So that's the weekly update on week 2 of August. So you see we're still doing some planting, lots of harvesting, bits of weeding here and there. So still lots to do in week 2 of August. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you found it informative, and hope give us a like if you have, or leave us some comments in the box. And if you want to follow our journey into week 3 of August, please use the subscribe button at the bottom of the page and follow our journey into week 3. Thank you for watching.